Hi, good day all of you. Welcome to our session. Welcome to our channel Intelligible Tutorials. In this today's session now, I want to discuss about the contents of the third unit of our information retrieval systems. The third unit contains the two parts. It is entirely divided into two parts. The first part contains the automatic class indexing and the second part containing the document and term clustering. Okay. So in this video, I want to give the introduction of the automatic class indexing and what are the contents that are going to be discussed in the automatic class indexing. And in the coming videos, I discuss about the contents of the automatic class indexing. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the automatic class indexing, what it is. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about what is the meaning of the automatic class indexing. Actually, the indexing process is nothing but the conversion of the items which having some certain semantics. And these semantics, these extracted information is used to create the processing of the tokens of the searchable data structure. Okay, so what is the meaning of the indexing process it contains? Indexing process contains mainly the semantics of the item that extract the semantics of the item what we are going to discuss. And this extracted information or semantic information that is used to create the processing of the tokens of the searchable data structures. So the main role of the automatic class indexing is nothing but the semantics. What is the semantics now? We are going to see. Okay. So now we are going to see what is the meaning of the semantics. The semantics of the item not only refers to the subject discussed in the item, but also the weighted systems that are to which subject is to be discussed. This is the definition is given for the semantics of the item. The semantics of the item that gives the meaning of the item and also the weight, the priority given to the item and as well as the depth to which the particular subject is discussed in that particular item. For example, we have seen these semantics of the item in our principles of the programming languages systems. Okay, in the principles of programming languages, you come across the meaning of the syntax and the semantics. What is the meaning of the syntax? The rule that must be followed is called as the syntax. And what is the meaning of the semantics now? The semantics is nothing but the meaning of the syntax. We are providing the each and everything, the meaning of the syntax is called as the semantics. Let us see, for example, C is equal to A plus B is the statement is given in the C programming language. Let us consider this one as the item. How can we identify, how can we extract the semantics of that particular item? Where C is equal to one variable followed by the assignment operator. Is equal to is nothing but one kind of assignment operator and A is equal to variable number 2 and plus is arithmetic additional operator and followed by the variable 3. So the statement that is given C is equal to A plus B here is treated as the item here and the respective semantics of the above statement is completely described here. Like that, for each and every item can have its own semantics. In the automatic class indexing, this kind of the semantics can play a vital role. Not only the semantics, it also includes the weighted systems, the depth of the subject what we are going to discuss for that particular topic on which we are going to discuss. Okay. Next, what are the contents in the indexing that contains normally? Okay. So we are going to discuss the contents of the automatic class indexing. The indexing can be based on the full text of the item and as well as the next one, the full text of the item and automatic or manual generation of subset of the terms or phrases to represent the item and natural language representation of the item, abstraction to the concepts of the item, the results of the process that are stored in one or other data structures. Okay, so the main all these can be stored in the one of the other kind of the data structures. What kind of the data structures? That also you will see in a picture. The index can be based on the full text, whatever it is, that is the item, and automatic manual generation of subset of the term pages to represent the item. What are the semantics that are going to represent? To represent those semantics, what are the items are needed? What are the phrases are needed? What are the manual script is needed? All these also can be included here. And we can represent that particular semantics in the form of the natural language. What kind of the natural language that we are going to use here, that also can be described. And the abstraction to the concepts of the item. We can represent the abstraction concepts all this to the item. So above listed all the elements that are to be stored in one particular item in the context of the semantics. and this result of this process are stored in one of the data structures. Any one of the data structure can be used to store all these things. Okay. So one more thing regarding this automatic indexing. Automatic indexing is treated as the process of analyzing the item to extract the information to be permanently kept in the index. It is also used to analyze the item, not only the semantics generated by the item, it also used to generate the item. This process is associated with the generation of searchable data structures associated with the item. Whatever items we have discussed previously, whatever contents that can be stored in the regarding the item of our automatic class indexing, they can be stored in the index. These are the list of the elements, and this list of the elements can be stored in searchable data structures which are associated with each and every item. So what does it indicates? The indexing not only stores the item, the phrases, the natural language processing, and as well as the terms and abstraction concepts and the full text, all these can be stored in some kind of the searchable data structures. It can take help to store all these things. This is nothing but the index. Okay. Now let us look at this. Let us have a look at this particular diagram. This diagram is storing some kind of the contents in it, and it is showing some kind of the contents in it. Standardized input, logical subsetting, adjoining, identifying tokens, apply stop lists, characterize the tokens, apply stemming, create searchable data structure. The left side it is divided into 5 number of the steps, and right side it is having only update document 5. And whenever we give the input, that particular input can be joined. Okay. So the characterized wise or the topic wise, it can be joined into some set of the zones. Okay, or domain wise, it can be joined into some set of the zones. Okay, divided into some set of the zones, the terms. Next one, identify the processing tokens. You need to identify the tokens and apply stop list algorithms for that, and characterize those tokens and application of the stemming algorithms. Then we create the searchable data structure. That searchable data structure will create a hit list. That hit list can be displayed to the user command. All these are the steps in the data flow information that can be processed in the system. Okay. So now see, the figure is expanded to show where the search process relates to the indexing process. While searching for an indexing process, all these steps can be done. Okay. So what are the steps? Here it is describing. The left side of the figure including identifying the processing tokens, apply stop lists, characterize tokens, and apply stemming algorithms, create searchable data structure. After creating of the searchable data structure, we can create the hit list. This hit list display the indexing of each and every term, whatever we are going to describe. So all these are the steps included in the indexing process. All these steps we know in our previous units. We have described what is the meaning of the stemming and what is the usage of create searchable data structure and characterization of the tokens. All these things we have seen in our previous units. Okay. And now we are going to see all the systems go through the initial stage of the joining and identifying the processing tokens to create the index. And some systems automatically divide the document into fixed length of packages, localities, which become the item unit that is indexed. That means starting from the joining onwards, ending of the creation of the hit list. Okay. So this is the process of the indexing. And some systems automatically divide the document into some fixed length of the passages. Instead of using this from joining to the creation of the hit list, some of the systems may include the fixed length of the passages or localities, which become the item unit that is indexed. Okay. So this is the process of the indexing we have seen already. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of the various things that cover for the indexing? Statistical strategies we can use, indexing techniques we can use, filters and stop lists, stemming algorithms, all these things we can use in the part of the indexing. Okay. So next step depend upon the search strategy of the particular item. Indexing can have the various kinds of the searching strategies. Statistical indexing, natural language indexing, concept indexing, hypertext indexing. Okay. So see here what are the contents of the automatic class indexing it can have. It is divided into. Let us have a look in this particular diagram. The automatic class indexing is divided into 4 different classes, types of the indexing. Statistical indexing, natural language processing, concept indexing, and as well as the hypertext indexing. Okay, so these are the 4 different parts of the statistical indexing. Sorry, automatic class indexing. Now in the coming diagram we see what are the contents of the statistical indexing is again divided into. The statistical indexing is again divided into probabilistic weighting, Bayesian model, vector weighting, neural net models. Okay, and again this vector weighting is third one of the statistical indexing. Here it is again divided into simple term frequency algorithm, inverse document frequency, signal weighting, discrimination value, problems with weighting schemes, problems with vector models. All these are the various types are divided here. Okay, so what are the contents of the automatic class indexing? Here it is already shown in the hierarchy. Those are nothing but statistical, natural language processing, concept indexing, hypertext indexing. These contents only here it is I have shown. Statistical, natural language processing, concept and hypertext indexing methods. Okay, and next, how many ways the statistical indexing can be divided into? Statistical indexing is again divided into probabilistic weighting, Bayesian model, vector weighting, neural net models. Here it is again divided into 4. So the same here it is showing in form of the list. Previously it is shown in the form of the hierarchy, but here it is I am showing in the form of the list. Okay, so like this the automatic class indexing is divided into 4 different types, and again this statistical indexing, the first method of the automatic class indexing, the first method of the automatic class indexing is nothing but statistical indexing. Again it can be divided into 4 different types. The third method of the vector weighting of the statistical indexing is again divided into 6 different types like this. Okay, so this is the division of the hierarchy of this automatic class indexing methods. Okay, so we see what is the importance of the statistical indexing just for a glance here. Statistical strategies cover the broad range of indexing techniques, filter, stop list, stemming algorithms, all these things. And next, these statistical strategies cover the indexing techniques most in commercial systems. Okay, so statistical approach uses the frequency occurrence of the item. Statistical indexing plays a vital role in the item indexing. So it counts the number of the items in the probabilistic manner or statistical manner. Okay, the events usually related to occurrences of the tokens. Just now I told how many times it is occurrence, and what are the word phrases or the domain of the searchable values, whether the word belongs to which domain, how many times it is occurred. All these things will be calculated perfectly with the help of the statistical indexing. The statistical indexing again divided into these types already we have discussed here. Okay, probabilistic, Bayesian, vector space and neural net models. Like this the automatic class indexing we have seen, and the third method of the statistical indexing is again divided into 3 types. Like that we have seen all the methods of the automatic class indexing. So in the coming videos we talk about the statistical indexing, what are the various methods are there in the statistical indexing, how can we describe each and every method. So to watch more videos of this information retrieval systems, please subscribe my channel Intelligible Tutorials. Thank you one and all.